Well, hello, I'm the Amateur Logician from amateurlogician.com, and I hope you're having a great day. Today, we're going to consider human knowledge, the elements of human knowledge. Now, in general, we can say that knowledge is relational, intentional, and reflective. It has a knower, what is known, and an active knowing by a conscious subject. It's relational because knowledge is always about something. So we have the knowing subject that goes with something known. There is thus a relation between a conscious subject and what is known. If there's no conscious subject, then there's no knowledge present. And if there's nothing that's known, there's no knowledge present. But what is this thing called consciousness? Well, it is, at the very least, an awareness. Perhaps the best we can do is to have it as an undefined term, something that is so basic to our experience that it cannot be easily defined. It's a basic fact of our experience as rational animals. We're always conscious of something. Sometimes people talk about pure consciousness, but what does that really mean? Consciousness of nothing is a contradiction in terms. You're always conscious of something. Otherwise, you're unconscious. Now, obtaining knowledge takes work. It takes an efficient cause, namely you or me, to know. We are not born with knowledge of the Pythagorean theorem, for example. To understand it, we have to actively think about it. We have to consider its proof or proofs in a detailed way. This requires active engagement, not a passive posture. We don't learn passively, at least not usually. Now, learning the Pythagorean theorem can be done through discovery and/or instruction from a teacher. Note that knowledge is also intentional because it's directed towards something in a deliberate way. So the knowing subject is directed toward some object. So that's why knowledge is always intentional. And knowing can be reflected because we can think about our own thinking. We can think of object and our idea about that object. We can think about the object as such, and we can think about our idea of that object. You and I can think not only about triangles in general, but our ideas about triangles. We can judge the truth or falsity of propositions. For example, is the Pythagorean theorem true? Does it capture all right-angled triangles? Also, is our own thinking about the Pythagorean theorem adequate? Do we understand that theorem really, really well? Can we apply it? Metacognition happens when we think about our own thinking. Now, knowledge of the Pythagorean theorem has a knower, namely you and me. There's a conscious subject. It has what is known, namely a squared plus b squared equals c squared in short, and all that good stuff. And it has an active knowing. And then active knowing is relational and intentional. I'm the Amateur Logician from amateurlogician.com, and if you enjoyed this material, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel and hitting the like button. Moreover, I hope you visit my website, amateurlogician.com. There's a newsletter there. I would appreciate if you sign up to that newsletter to join me on this adventure to pursue the true, good, and beautiful, and to think more logically. Until next time, be well.